last Sunday I shared this. It was 1941 that we in America started celebrating the holiday as we know as Thanksgiving. But it was way back in Abraham Lincoln's time that Abraham Lincoln made the statement that we should have a day of thanksgiving to our Heavenly Father. And we have now where people start November the 1st, 30 things that they're thankful for. You know what we can put there for every one of those days? Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. I won't do it 30 times, but you get the point. From God is where all good things flow. I'm thankful for all His blessings and all that He means to me and all that He is to us. Paul said, I thank God for every remembrance of you. And I am thankful for that this morning. As I stand here today and look across this congregation, I'm thankful for my church family today. Many of us are going to join with our natural families this coming Thursday. And we'll gather together, we'll eat together, and we'll have fellowship together. And some of them will put up with until it's time to go. But we'll spend time with family. Some may watch football, some may just eat. And then eat again, and then eat again. We'll have all of our favorite pies and all of that. But today is the day that we come together as a church family. We're going to do much the same. We're going to gather together. There'll be no football, but I'm sure there'll be some pies and there'll be some food this afternoon. We want everybody to stay and join us for our Thanksgiving. We did it potluck style this year, Thanksgiving potluck, following service today in the fellowship hall. So nobody go home. There's plenty of food for everyone. And let's enjoy a time of fellowship this afternoon with our church family and gather together and enjoy food and fellowship together. And just take our time today. No service tonight. And we're just looking forward to what God has in store for us as we're getting close to 2019, a new year coming upon us. And so we've got so much to thank God for in 2018. He's been good to us. It has not come without its struggles. It has not come without its battles. It has not come without its hardships. But through it all, God has been faithful. He's been true to us. He's been a blessing to us. And if we went around this room this morning, like some do at their family table at Thanksgiving, each one of us could, I don't think we'd have to think very long before we could say something that God has blessed us with in 2018 and something that we're thankful for. And if nothing else, we'd be able to say, thank God for what He has done in my life. He's been so good to us. And I'm thankful for this opportunity today that we have to come to gather together, to be together in this time of fellowship. So don't rush off. Stay with us this afternoon. Let's enjoy a time of fellowship together. There will not be a midweek service this week, Thanksgiving Thursday. And I want people there'll be those traveling, and there'll be those preparing meals and all of that. So take time to do all of those things this week. Annually, my family, my wife has said it as just kind of our family tradition that we usually leave out after our Thanksgiving meal here at the church, and we spend this week on a few days of vacation together as a family, and so that's where we'll be for the next few days, and we'll be heading back in Thursday morning to have Thanksgiving at my sister's house. So we're looking forward to this week, and I know you are too. Some may not be looking forward to this week, but we're praying for you and praying God give you strength and comfort for whatever reason that this is a sad time of year for you. It's not the happiest time of year for me. There's a lot of things that we could ponder on, that we could sit there and focus on that could get us sad. But I've got too much things to be thankful for to focus on those things today and this week. And I'm just grateful to the Lord. I'm grateful that you're here today. Glad you're here in the house of the Lord. How many's come to worship the Lord? Amen. Amen. I am ready to worship Him. And so thankful for His blessings, for His strength, and for His help today. God has been good to us. There's an announcement screen that's rolling over, and we don't want to get too far ahead into the Christmas season before we have Thanksgiving, but I do want to bring attention to our Deck the Halls Sunday, which will be the first Sunday of December. We started this a couple of years ago, and it seemed to be very, very enjoyable. We liked doing it. We started at Howard Road, and it became a bigger task here. We gathered together as a church family and decorate the church for Christmas. So we'll be doing that on the first Sunday evening of December, which is December the 2nd. December the 2nd, 5 p.m. We'll gather in here, sing a few Christmas carols, do a devotion, and then we'll go next door to the fellowship hall and have some cookies, milk, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you like. And we're going to bring those items and have a good time together, kind of a fellowship. And then we're going to put up the Christmas tree and all the Christmas decorations, just as you would with your family. I prefer at my house that we put them up on Christmas Eve and take them down the day after Christmas. And touch us, and let's come with a heart of thanksgiving. Can we enter this choir today with thanksgiving and praise? As they're coming, can you just lift your hands and begin to praise Him today? Begin to thank God for what He's going to do in this service this morning. Father, we praise You. Thank You for Your grace and Your mercy, God. Have Your way.
Praise
has a favorite verse to Amazing Grace. I do. It's verse 3. I think about and recall all that I've been through, and all that I've faced, and all that I've gone through in my lifetime. Like I said earlier, it hasn't all been good. How many's been through some junk? How many's created some junk for yourselves? We've been through some things. Been through some times that I didn't think.
Right after Friday night, about 6 today. You know, what first thing comes to my mind is that it's Thanksgiving. And I was more on something that talks about something that you've done for us. And I was going to say about the blood. I don't think there's anything we could be more thankful than the blood of Jesus Christ that He gave on Calvary. That we're here today. That's why we're here today, because He was willing. Not only was His Father willing to give Him, but He was willing to go to the cross. He prayed there in the garden. He said, Father, if it be possible, just any way around this thing. If there's any other way, Lord, let this cup pass from me. But the last thing He said was, nevertheless, thy will be done. It was the Father's will that Christ would come and make a way for you and I. And if we're not thankful for anything else in life this morning, we ought to be thankful that Jesus Christ gave His life. And because He did that, then we have the song that we'll sing about this morning. We have had that moment of grace. Each and every one of us have experienced that grace of God that Brother Jamie talked about here just a minute ago. We sang that song, Amazing Grace. How sweet this sound. If grace wasn't amazing to you, then you really didn't need a Savior. It should have been the most amazing thing that you've ever seen. That somebody that knew you, yet He still loved you. Loved you enough to give His life. This is the time of Thanksgiving, and I think we can give thanksgiving to God for His amazing grace, for His love, for the blood that was shed on Calvary. Wouldn't none of us be here this morning if it wasn't for Christ. Just worship God. That's what we're here to do today, is to worship Him and to give Him glory. And that's what I'm going to do in this song, and then I want to do anything to glorify God. So let's worship God this morning as you feel led to do so. If you're thankful this morning, it's not going to hurt to raise your hand and say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for all that you've done for me. But Lord, more than that, thank you that you saved my soul. That you saw fit to save an old wretched sinner like me. Oh, we all can go back and look at our lives, and we've got a reason to thank God. Just worship Him. That's what we're here to do. I bring this glory in this place. Down on me. Say I'm not worthy to live. Say you've drifted so far, you're stuck in sin's fire. You need a miracle and only God can give. But Jesus has died, and this is reply. He said, I chose you to deliver me today. My sins were erased, my own words forgave. I stood in a moment of grace, a moment of grace. Undeserved favor, unspeakable joy. My soul found an anchor, such unmerited love, and mercy that swept my soul away. He called my name, and everything changed in a moment of grace. A moment of grace. Undeserved favor, unspeakable joy. My soul found an anchor, such unmerited love, and mercy that swept my soul away. He called my name, and everything changed in a moment of grace. Such unmerited love, and mercy that swept my soul away. He called my name, and everything changed in a moment of grace.
Get to thinking about that as they began to sing, and I just want to obey the Lord. I'm going to start us off, but I need about 4 or 5 to join me. But listen to radio stations, they talk about God moments, and I just got to think about that grace moment for me. Thinking about that undeserved, unmerited favor of God. You know, as a pastor, I want to talk about all the years that I served the Lord and the credentials that I have and all of those things. And want to be that one that you can look up to and that godly example. And that's not always been me. I was running from God, running from my calling. Backslid on the Lord. Just running headlong after this world. Didn't have anything. It just seemed empty and seemed void. And I remember that night when I slipped into 103rd Street Church of God. It's their fellowship hall now. It was the church then. And I don't know why I ended up there, but of course I was late. I came in late, just slipped in the back, just ate up with the world. And it was a long way from my house where I lived. I lived on the north side of Jacksonville to drive to 103rd. That was the last church that I attended before I went back on the Lord. I pulled up into that driveway, and I sat there on that back pew. Had no indication, no desire to live any different, be any different. I don't even know why I was there that night. I didn't know why I was there that night. But it just seemed natural to go to church. That was just what I always did. It was just the most I slipped in, and I sat down on that pew, and I watched as they called up the choir. And it was a youth choir. And as I looked, it was all those babies that I taught in junior high Sunday school. Sister Odom, they began to sing. You know what they began to sing? Take up your cross and follow Jesus. Don't be ashamed to say that you know Him. And I watched those babies with their hands raised and tears streaming down their face. And it was like nobody else was in the room, Sister Man, but me and those babies that I had poured into, that I had loved on, that I had taught on Wednesday night, taught in Sunday school. It was like they were bidding for me. Brother Jamie, you've helped us. Now we're reaching for you. That may not have been the case, but that's what it seemed like. It seemed like they were talking to me. And as they began to sing that, Brother Jeff, the Lord spoke to me. Oh, thank God that He spoke to me. I thought, man, He's done with me, and He's never going to use me again. He's never going to touch my life again. I felt empty. I felt void. I was backslidden away from God. But He spoke to me that night. And it's Sister Mary, He said to me, He said, you can run, but you'll never be able to hide from my presence. You can run, but you'll never be able to hide from my presence. Oh, water came on then. They began to flow. Tears began to stream down my face, and I couldn't stay on the vacuum any longer. I fell across that altar. I didn't wait for them to quit singing. I didn't wait for the preacher to give an altar call. I made my way up that aisle, and I fell across that altar, and I repented, and I surrendered my heart back to God, and I'm so thankful. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to reach out for me. He didn't have to deal with me. He didn't have to draw me to that church house. Those babies didn't have to sing under that anointing, but they did mine, because that was my moment of grace. That was my moment that God reached down. Can I tell you, that's not the last time that I felt His grace. Time and time again, that undeserved favor of God, as I said earlier, has brought me to where I'm at today. I'm thankful for my moment of grace, aren't you? I'm going to put these three on the spot because they're singing. So, Sister Mary, tell us about your moment of grace. Any of them. They may just be one, they may be many.
My moment of grace, like he says, I have several. Everybody knows what I was told many, many years ago. But you know, we're going to take it a little different. We've been praying all year for breakthrough. Well, this past week, everybody knows it was Friday night, our revival, our camp meeting was absolutely amazing. And I felt so liberated, I felt so free, and I felt so awesome. That was my moment of grace, coming through that breakthrough. You know, this past week, one night, I'm not sure what night it was, I was in my closet and I was praying. And then she got it. It was wonderful. And God showed me something. He said, just stand with that hammer and that wall that's been building all of these years. The hurt, the pain, the discouragement, everything, the hate, everything that's built that wall up. You stand with that hammer and you're breaking it. And you're breaking it, and you're breaking it, and then all of a sudden that wall falls. And then you see the light, and it's like, wow, this is wonderful. But you know where that wall falls that you just broke down? Right in front of you. And that wall, however tall it is crumbled. If you can see those blocks are right in front of you. I'm still not out there. I'm still not through that wall. I'm still standing inside. And God said, if you're not careful, Mary, those things that you have to crawl over, that hate and that hurt and that discouragement, if you're not careful, Mary, what's going to happen is you're going to let it start building right back up again. You've got to climb up over it, because you're not going to get your breakthrough until you walk through and you climb up over all of that hurt and you climb up all over that discouragement and you say, oh my dear God, I'm out here. I want to be out there in that light. I don't want to have to see all that wall come back up again. And you know what? If we're not careful, that wall's going to start building right back up again. Because even though that revival was wonderful, little by little, if you can sit still, it's like that discouragement. The devil's going to try to creep it right back in, and that wall's going to start building. I don't want that wall to build back again, Brother Jamie. I fought too hard to break it down. As I broke that wall down, I said, God, give me the strength to climb up and over every bit of that pain and put it behind me. Put it in the past or in the wall, and don't look back there anymore. I keep my eyes on Him. I keep walking forward and climb up and over and out into His glory. That's what I want. That's what I want. Hallelujah. Oh, hallelujah.
I have no respect of person. What I do for one, I do for all. I've given you breakthrough. You broke through that wall. Now there's obstacles and oppositions that you have to overcome. Are you willing to climb over it all? Follow after me. Step into your victory. Step into your breakthrough. Or will you stand there with the opportunity right before you, the potential to have victory, but yet die in the midst of the rubbish? Oh, follow me. Come to me, all you that are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Step into my life. Step into the victory today, saith the Lord. Holy God, thank you, Jesus. We praise you. Oh, we praise you. Thank you for victory. Thank you for praise. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord.
Amen. You know, May the 1st, 1994. Seemed like such a long time ago. That was my initial moment of grace. You know, it's ironic that I sing that today because I never sang a note before I got saved. Well, on May the 1st, 1994, but a little bit after 9 p.m., some of you don't remember, but I remember exactly the time, the date, where I was at. That I sat there at a dining room table with a pastor and his wife that we really didn't know that well. My wife knew him, but I didn't know him that well. They invited us after church and we come to their house. Said, sure, we'll come. And we came to sit down and just enjoy a meal with them. And the words of a song that the Cersei family sang at a benefit sing for building fund at Middleburg Civic Center on a Saturday night. And it just simply said, what if death should overtake you and you have no time to live? Man, those words got in my heart and in my mind, and I'm telling you, I could not get it out. Because I didn't know. I didn't know. What if that should overtake me? It was an awesome lyric to a song, but yet more than that, it was such a powerful message. What if death? If I could ask you this morning, what if death should overtake you today, and you don't have time to pray? Where are we at? Man, them words begin to get heavier and heavier. If you've ever felt that, you know what I'm talking about. And I began to cry. I'm just sitting at a dining room table. Sister Douglas is making food. Brother Douglas is sitting there. Lisa's sitting there. It's supposed to be a good time, a happy time. And I just began to cry. And he said, son, what's the matter? I said, well, if I was to die tonight, I don't know where I'd go. And I'll never forget what he did. He just laughed. That may seem hard to some, but I guess I'll go to church. I mean, it just happened just that way. And came on to church that night. The Lord spoke to me. So that was my most recent moment of grace. What a wonderful, wonderful experience to feel that. If you've ever felt what I felt that day, then to feel that breakthrough, that wall just tumbling down. All the things that had been weighing on me and pulling on me, I just felt it release. I told them that Sunday night, y'all were here, some of you for testimony service. I just feel different. I feel different. Something's changed. The Lord's done something here. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I don't know what tomorrow holds. I don't know what's going to happen with the Middleburg Church of God in 2019, but something is changed. You know why the devil was so hard and bombarding us so bad? Because he knows that we are a force against him and that we can do something for God if we will just move forward. If we'll allow God to work, if we'll allow God to move, if we'll allow him to use us in the capacity that he has for us, there's no telling what this church can do, and the devil knows that.
Right. Yeah.
He knows that. That was my most recent moment of grace. I thank God. I praise him this morning. I felt the presence we got here this morning. I felt it. I knew that he was here. He's here always, but sometimes we just, not that we ignore him, but we just kind of go through the motions, so to speak, and don't let God have his way. I just feel like that, let him have his way, please.
Well, Jamie, there's been many moments of grace over these many years. But when you said something about us, tell about our moment of grace, a moment came to my mind that I haven't thought about in a long time. But you know, I've been in church all my life, and you can be in church, and you can die, go to hell, sitting on the church pew. You know, just because you're raised in the church don't mean you're going to make it. You've got to have that personal relationship with the Lord. And even though I was saved when I was young, you know, as you, my teenage years and different things, you have rebellion and you go against God, and that was what, I was still going to church, Sunday school and all that. And on the outside appeared, you know, to be doing what I was supposed to be doing. But I wasn't where I needed to be with the Lord. And I remember one Sunday night in the middle of the service, the power of God was there. And, you know, there's a song that I've been practicing that I want to sing sometime. It's talking about anything less. And once you've experienced God and His mercy, His faithfulness, His love, His forgiving power, you will never be satisfied with anything less. Not as I was sitting there, God was dealing with my heart, and you know, sometimes you quench the Spirit of the Lord, you know, and sometimes we are really, I think, guilty about that. Brother George was saying about just worshiping and praising the Lord. We need to be worshiping and praising the Lord. And I made a determination that I don't care if I'm the only one raising my hands, I'm going to raise my hands and worship the Lord.
Amen.
But that's not, you know, that's what defeats the devil, worshiping the Lord, defeating the devil. But I felt like I needed to go, get up and go. And the service wasn't ended, you know, he was still preaching. And you know how you feel like, I can't get up in the middle of all these people and walk down. What will they think? You know, what's wrong with her? You know, I thought she was all right. What's going on with her? You know, you have how the devil. But I was determined, and I just stood up on my feet, headed towards that altar. Brother Jane, I didn't even make it halfway. And halfway down here, I raised my hands in the air. And God met me there in that moment of grace and brought me back to where I needed to be. And you know, not only that, if you be obedient, after that service, I don't know how many people said, I'm glad you obeyed God, because once you did, then it, you know, other things come in. You never know what your response will do for other people that's in the same place that you're in. That's right. So we need to be worshiping the Lord by thanking that He's merciful to me, and He's brought me from that dark place that I was in and brought me into the light. And I just love Him this morning. I thank Him that He is giving us mercy each and every day. His mercies begin new every day. And I thank Him for every moment of grace that He's given to me. Pray for
Amen. They're going to prepare to sing a little bit more, but I need two more folks from out here. Two more. Definitely.
I just want to thank you. Been in trouble, knowing that you're with a family and you don't feel love. I told Pastor Wednesday night, I wasn't going to come to church because I had such an emotional, I'm a little emotional wreck. I knew I had done work. I said, look at him, you ain't getting this. Because I know my family here loves me in spite of myself. And I feel that they appreciate there's time that you need to do this, do that. And it's nice to be able to feel wanted and needed and loved. And I don't feel that all the time with my own siblings. And that really was so hard for me to endure. We didn't grow up together, but still that was nice. And then trying to go through this, working and all that with my daddy and being sick and stuff. And you said, cast my stuff there. So with all that, yesterday I was running late to get stuff for today because I didn't really think I was going to be here and I was supposed to be sleeping. So I went to the store, that thing, I talked to Sister Mary. I went to Aldi's. very real when I go there, probably Tuesday, that there will be peace among us sisters. And I won't allow the enemy to cause strife and destruction, which is what he wants to do with anything, or any church, or any life. I think not my own words, but this young lady, this total stranger, just blessed me. And I'm like, she's like, you gave me the change that she paid for, you know, and I'm just thankful that we could find love and friendship in other areas that you don't even, I mean, that was just in my attitude. And I'm just thankful. I just praise the Lord for his mercy, his grace, and for me traveling and such. It's just such a great, awesome time. I think I'm
Sister Gilda said there's many moments to think of.
I have several moments, but the one that sticks with me right now is for about 3 months of me going back to two doctors, got my notes about it.
God begin to reveal something to you. No matter what your moment is, let's take time on this Sunday before Thanksgiving, not to get any hurry. You guys know me, I love to preach, and I'll preach and drop the hat, and I'll drop the hat, and I'll keep you here all afternoon until I'm through. But God wants to do something in this moment, this morning. I believe the Lord, through these testimonies, is reaching out to a backslider this morning, saying, come on home. I believe that God's reaching out to somebody who may be, as Sister Gilda said, just been on the church pew your whole life, but you've never had a relationship with Jesus Christ. You couldn't say, I asked somebody that one time. They told me they were saved. I said, but are you born again? They said, what's that? I had to explain to them what being born again was. They said, well, no, I'm not. You need to be. Maybe you've not been born again. That's your moment of grace this morning. God has taken and moved in this service. Our sister was trying to find a way to testify about what God did for her. God shifted the whole service so she could stand and say, God healed me of cancer. That may have not been anything for anybody else, but to know what she's been through, and she knows what she's had to go through, and she knows what's happened. And she said, I got to tell somebody. Moment of grace. Think about your moment of grace this morning. You can do one of two things. You can sit there and you can say, thank God for my moment of grace. Or you can stand and lift both hands to the air and say, God, I just want to take time to thank you and praise you. You may want to find your way up around this altar this morning and just begin to lift your hand and say, God, thank you for my moment of grace. And as the church begins to do that, maybe you're a backslider here today and you say, I need my moment of grace. I feel God dealing with me. I feel God calling me back into a right relationship with Him. Maybe you've sat on the church pew your whole life and you're saying this morning that I need a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. I need to be born again. You can make your way to this altar this morning as well as they begin to sing. Say, God, I'm ready for my moment of grace. I'm ready. I'm ready to walk through that door and experience all that you have for me. I wanted to sing this one more time. According to your response, how this service goes, this one go let God have His way. If it's His will for me to preach this morning, I'll preach. But if He's drawing you to an altar, I don't want you to hesitate to make your way to this altar. Surrender your life and your heart to God. Maybe you just want to say, Brother Jay, I just want to thank you. Just step out and praise Him. Just begin to gather around these altars or right there in your seat or whatever, and let's just take time to thank Him on this Thanksgiving Sunday, if you will. We gather together as a family, church family. They began to sing. I want you to think about your moment of grace. And when you've got it, I want you to praise Him. Give Him your best praise and thank Him for it. Let's let the God have His way this morning.
She was down on her knees. She could never break free. Her accusers had storms in their hands. They turned to Jesus to see what He'd say, but the Lord only wrote in the sand. Then they walked away when they heard Him say, "Have set free, cast her stones." With tears on her face, her sins were erased. sing, but then we sang it. And we began to talk about these moments of grace. We began to think about these moments of grace. And, well, this lady, if you know the story of the Bible, she was there at the well, and she had committed many, many, many sins. And Jesus knew that. And she was amazed that he would even talk to her to begin with, but yet then he conveyed to her where she was and what she needed to do. And then we go on to this thief on the cross. He knew what he'd done. He knew he was guilty, but he had enough about him to realize that this man hanging on this cross beside him was not guilty of anything. And he recognized that. And he saw that. And he said, Lord, I'm just paraphrasing here a little bit. I could just see him say, well, Lord, I'm guilty. I'm a thief. I'm a sinner. I've done all these horrible things with God. And there's some way possible when you make it into glory, when you return to your kingdom, if you would just remember this old sinner on this cross. If you just think about me. And he told him that day, you will be with me in paradise. And then down to you and me. Sister Mary's experienced it. Many of you may have experienced. Someone just told you maybe you're just worthless. You know what? Maybe the devil this morning has told you you have gone too far. You've got too much. There's no hope for you. There's no help for you. Them people just knew who I am, man. They drug me out of this building. No, that's just the devil. Right. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to tell you, well, you made too many mistakes. You've done things that you can't fix. Well, guess what? We all have. But I'm here this morning to tell you that there is grace sufficient enough to cover all your sins. Come on. It don't matter where you are this morning. I don't care what you have done. You can come to an old-fashioned altar this morning, and you can ask God to forgive you. He'll forgive you. He will forgive you this morning. There is no greater gift than to meet the Lord and Savior. Think next year. Just think next year. We're here in this service again next year. And Brother David says, anybody here want to testify this morning something you're thankful for? Brother David, I'm thankful for Thanksgiving service 2018. Because that's when I gave my heart to Jesus Christ. That's when I realized it was time for me to make that turn, to make that change. I just feel like somebody here this morning needs to obey God. Somebody here this morning is a turning point in your life. You're at a place in your life that you're either going to live for or you're not. That you're going to make that decision or you're not. God doesn't do this for no reason. Some of you, maybe you're new here this morning, maybe you're going, what in the world is going on here? This is God. This is His grace. This is what He does. He's trying to get a hold of somebody this morning. He's trying to reach down just like He did with that man on that cross. He's trying to reach over and just extend His hand of grace to you this morning. To let you know that it is not too late. You've not gone too far. There is still hope for you. But you have got, He can't just reach out and grab you and pull you in. You've got to make that decision for yourself. That you want what God has to offer this morning. You know what He has this morning? He has an offer of peace, of happiness, of joy, of forgiveness. Oh, the devil wants to bombard you with the guilt of the sin that's in your past, but it can be just like this song says. Oh, and tears on her face for sins were erased. It's gone. It's behind her. It's done. It's over. You can move on from that. I just have to speak what's on my heart this morning. I feel this morning. I feel somebody here this morning. And like Brother James said, it could be somebody who sat on church you all your life. You may have been raised in the church. But you know what? That's not a guarantee, and you've got to know Jesus Christ. You've got to know Him. All I can do is tell you what God laid on my heart. It's up to you. It's in your hands.
This year, God has set the score for you. Still here. So He gets up. He said each week He brings it up. You're not going to college. Just get in and read the Bible, and He brings this little thing in here. Just go ahead and sit. God's got a reason for you here.
I'll let the sing a little bit more of that. I want you to respond to this altar call Brother George just gave. He's talking to you this morning. I want you to step out. I want you to make your way around this altar. I think sing it one more time. They're going to go through both verses, the chorus. They're going to sing it one more time, and I want to give you an opportunity to respond. I don't want to get ahead of God. I don't want to rush through this and miss that opportunity for a soul to surrender their heart and their life to God. I'm ready to preach, and if there's no response to the altar, I will preach. And I'll preach until I deliver what God's laid upon my heart. But I'm like Brother George, I just feel something in this moment. Something in this moment that God, it may not be that you're lost. It may not be that you're a backslider. It may be that you're just under a load and you're just weighed down. And Brother Jared preached yesterday at the youth service. The young man preached a wonderful message on I Can. It's just like Brother George said there, that a taskmaster come and begin to put on the children of Israel. Just weigh them down. Why? Brother George said earlier, in his testimony earlier, the devil sees the potential that you have, this generation has, that each one of us has. He knows what we're capable of. He knows our potential better than we know our potential. Satan knows if they step into that potential, if they step into that calling, if they step into that destiny, I'm in trouble. So he's going to try to tell you, you can't. But that young man reminded this generation, our young people today, something that us elders need to be reminded of too. I can. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Maybe this morning you've just been living in the I can't. I can't preach, I can't sing, I can't teach, I can't do whatever God's called me to do. I can't serve Him, I can't live for Him, I can't be faithful. I can't. Just want to remind you this morning, oh yes you can. Oh yes you can. You need a moment of grace this morning. And your moment of grace, God said, here it is. Here it is. These two altars right here, all these steps represent altars, a meeting place. These front rows, meeting place with God. That's what an altar is. We have these altars here today. Altars are always open. But can I tell you this morning, altars are open on this Thanksgiving Sunday morning. God said you need a moment of grace. You need to be saved. I'm in the soul-saving business. You need to be delivered. I'm the deliverer. You need a healing. I'm the healer. Whatever you have need of this morning, God said, I'm ready. Are you? I'm ready. Are you? As they begin to sing this morning, I just want you to respond accordingly. I just want you to let God. I don't want you to leave here today with that burden that you've been carrying. I don't want you to carry it back outside the door today because God has interrupted this service this morning. He's taken it and He's put a pause on everything. Say, I want to remind somebody today that I'm still gracious. Can I tell you this? It does not matter what you've done. It does not matter how far you've gone. Yeah, it may be sin, and God does not wink at sin, and He does not accept sin. But He said, I am faithful. If you confess your sin, I am faithful to forgive you. God wants me to tell somebody this morning, I'm still a God that forgives. I know what you did was wrong, but I am still a God that forgives. There's nothing that can separate you from His love. My, is He reaching out in love this morning? There is no condemnation today, but there is a plea from the Father. Just as He was with that prodigal. Come on home. Come on home. Did you notice something? The Father never walked down that road when He saw the Son come up that road. Sister Gilda said, I didn't make it all the way up the aisle. Why? Because the Father met her there. He saw a child coming home. He's going to run. He's going to meet you there as well. God loves you this morning. He's ready to give you a moment of grace. Are you ready for it this morning? Respond accordingly. It's up to you this morning. Father.
Down on her knees to never break free. Her accusers had stormed to their hand. They turned to Jesus to see what He'd say. But the Lord just rolled in the sand. And they walked away when they heard Him say, like the set free as her first dawn. With tears on her face, her past was erased, and she stood in a moment of grace. Now the thief on the cross knew his life was lost. He was paid for the crimes of his past. He'd done nothing right, he'd sure lose this fight, and his time was running out. Then he took his last shot, said to Jesus, why not? Remember me when you reach heaven's gate. And Jesus forgave, and his sins were erased, and he died in a moment of grace. Moment of grace. Undeserved favor, unspeakable joy. I saw that anchor, such unmerited love, and mercy that swept my soul away. He called my name, and everything changed in a moment of grace. I've been counted out by the self-righteous crowd who'd say I'm not worthy to live. You've drifted so far, you're stuck in sin's life. You need a miracle that only God can give. But Jesus passed by, and with this his reply, he said, I told you just let me today. And Jesus forgave, my sins were erased, and I stood in a moment of grace. Moment of grace. Undeserved favor, unspeakable joy.
Teenage couple, sitting back here. Teenage couple gave their heart to the Lord that night. I remember praying with them in the altar. God's touched their lives and blessed them. Two beautiful children. Gave them a moment of grace that night. Wayne McKay, I just want to tell you this morning, God's not done. That same moment of grace that he gave you 9 years ago, he said, I've got another moment of grace for you. Just like God touched those young people, those teenagers, he's wanting to touch these young adults this morning. He's wanting to touch that next generation. Not just for this couple. Not maybe you, like William and Kayla, can remember back where God touched you, God moved in your life. I don't know what's going on in William and Kayla's life for the last 9 years, but I know that the same God that saved that teenage couple that morning, that he, the same God is here, dealing, moving. All these years later, he's dealing with your heart. Maybe he's dealing with this couple. Maybe he's dealing with you. And you know what the devil wants us to do? He wants us to hold on to that seat. He wants us to hold on to that seat. The longer you hold on to that seat, the more he's giggling, the more he's laughing. You know why you're holding on to that seat? Because you're saying, I can't. I can't. I can't. Continue to say, I can do anything that I want to do in the world. We tell our kids, you can be anything you want to be. Right? You could be an astronaut. You could be the next president. You can own your own business. But when it comes to the things of God, you know what they learned that they came to the same ones. The same ones that tell them you can be anything you want to be. But more so in our actions and our words, we tell them you can't be faithful to God. You can't be faithful to the things of God. You can't serve God. You can't live for God. Brother James, we don't tell our kids that. We do through our actions. We do through our actions. You can't make the things of God a priority. There's other things that's more important. There's other things that you can do. God's looking. And that young man, he stirred me yesterday. It was a very short message. Powerful and impactful. Tied right into what God wanted to do in this service this morning. Maybe you're here today and just, I can't serve you. In my moment of grace, that's where I was at. I said, I can't do this. I can't do it for him. I can't preach. The Lord wants me to preach, and I know I can't preach. Everybody knows I can't preach. I've tried to preach and can't do it. And that's where I was, where I can't do this. Matter of fact, I had a girlfriend not long after that, and I remember sitting in Pizza Hut, Sister Odom, and her dad looked at me and he said, well, what's your future plans? What are you going to do? I said, well, I'm an evangelist. He said, you're going to starve to death. You've never even heard me preach. But reality is I can't be an evangelist. I can't be a pastor. I can't. Remember what I told you last week? God's just tying both services in together. I put it in the bulletin last week. I read it again this morning. God has a plan for your life. So quit saying what you can't do when God says that you can do all things through Christ. Jeremiah prophesied this, Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you. Now you're thinking I can't. God said, wait a minute. My thoughts toward you is you can. I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord.
Amen.
Thoughts of peace, not of evil, to give you an expected end. You can do all things. You have a hope. You have a future. But what you do with it is up to you. A moment of grace that God has given you. A moment of breakthrough. Sister Mary told us this morning, a moment of breakthrough is not enough. You've got to have a moment of walk through. Amen? You've broke it down. You've got to step into it. How many of us this morning are ready to step into it? As Ezekiel said, I can't stop at ankle deep, loin deep, waist deep, on waters swimming. It's joy unspeakable and full of glory, overflowing. That's what I want. Amen. Anybody experience a moment of grace in this service this morning? Amen. I'm thankful for His grace. Some of you get fidgety at 12 o'clock and you're wondering, is he going to preach? I would. But I feel like Sister Mary and Brother George and others have done some fine preaching this morning. I feel like the Holy Ghost has done some fine preaching this morning.
Amen.
Dealing with God. There's nothing else that can be said that can give you an invitation for restoration. I believe God's done it this morning. He's reached out and He's thrown a lifeline out to you. What you do with it's up to you. Will you grab hold of that lifeline? You can say, well, Brother James, it's too late. The service is coming to an end. You can make an altar anywhere. You can grab that steering wheel of that car on the way home and say, God, I can't handle this anymore. I need my moment. I need to surrender. I need to give it. You can fall across that chair. People might not like it, but you can dive right across that Thanksgiving table. Fall on your face right in the turkey and stuffings and everything else. Say, this is far. I can't handle it anymore. Amen? If there's any hunters here, you can fall down in the woods and you can boat. Any fishermen, you can fall right there at the floor of that boat. Anywhere can be an altar. Don't run from God. If you feel Him dealing with your heart, fall across that altar, wherever that altar may be, and let God move and touch in your life. Don't leave here like you came. Don't carry that burden. Don't carry that load. You can have your moment of grace this morning. As you stand with me and we pray this prayer, maybe you didn't step out. Maybe you didn't come to that altar. You know what you can do? Right now as we begin to pray, you can slip up both those hands and say, God, I do this in an act of total surrender. I repent of my sins. I ask you to come into my heart. Forgive me of my sins and help me to walk in your grace and your love and your mercy. Can you do that this morning as we pray? Father, we're grateful. Oh, for every moment of grace that's been testified of this morning, God. Oh, God, for all the acts of mercy, God, that you've extended to us, each one, God. Those who have found that grace and that mercy, even in this service this morning. Some came to this altar, fell across this altar and said, God, thank you for giving me this opportunity to make my wrongs right. Oh, thank you for restoration. There's some that's even now, they're slipping up those hands and saying, God, I surrender all to you. I surrender my life to you. I surrender my heart to you. I surrender my mind to you. And I believe you, Heavenly Father, just to have your way in me. Lead me and guide me and direct me in all truths. Keep your hand upon me, God. Use me for your glory. Lord, we're just so thankful for your love and your mercy and your grace today. For you are compassionate to us. You're long-suffering with us. You are a very present help in time of trouble. Our refuge from every storm. And we just praise you and thank you for it. In Jesus' precious name. Amen. Brother Raven, can you run over and see how long we're ready for us? I'm going to talk until he gives me a report. God is good to us.
Amen.